Adoption of agenda.
I'll move to adopt the agenda.
I'll second. All in favor? Adoption of minutes of?
Recommend that council adopt the minutes from the regular council meeting held on June 6, 2018.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second.
Any discussion on that one? All in favor? Introduction of late items, none. Public hearing, none. Delegation. Well, I guess we're not having one. Unfinished business, business arising from the minutes, none. New business.
Council decide which ministers they would like to meet with at UBCM 2018 and what topics should be addressed.
I'll second. Discussion.
Minister of Education, Minister of Transportation.
Slow down, please. Sorry,
Oh.
I said that out of line. Can
Yeah, go ahead.
I have the book of meetings here. How about if I just read the names and you say yes or no?
Okay.
Okay. Premier Horgan,
Yes.
Honorable Selena Robinson.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then Ministry of Advanced Education, Skills and Training.
Yes. Because that's for the school. right?
No, advanced
No,
education
that's
worship is
college.
post-secondary.
But shouldn't we have them in the loop too, like kind of have a? No, they don't have anything to do with it, each other. Okay.
So is that a no?
No.
Ministry of Agriculture,
No.
Ministry of Attorney General.
No. Well, yeah, actually, we should talk to her because of, the hospital, right?
Hospital.
Is that BC assessment?
No, BC assessments under municipal affairs and housing.
What was the name of that person?
They don't give me the name. I
That's-
have to go find it. It just says Ministry of Attorney General.
That's that lady.
What is her name? Okay.
I'm trying to
But maybe,
come
them
in.
over the hospital, right? See if they'll hurry up and get it to the treasury board.
Okay, Ministry of Children and Family Development.
No.
Ministry of Senior Citizens.
Yeah.
Ministry of Education.
Yeah.
Ministry of Energy, Mines and Petroleum Resources.
No, we don't need to see that.
Ministry of Environment and Climate Change Strategy.
No.
Ministry of Finance.
Yeah, we heard too.
Ministry of Forest, Lands, Natural Resource Operations and Rural Development.
Rural development. No, I don't think so.
Your worship, it's actually Honorable David Eby. He's Attorney General. I'm taking him
Oh.
finance.
Yeah, that's what I was
Minister.
thinking about.
Is the finance minister that you
Yeah,
want?
yeah,
That's planning.
yeah. No, the
No, not
finance minister
finance.
is,
It's Carol
It's education.
James, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, Mr. James.
Okay. Ministry of Health.
yes.
Ministry of Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation.
No,
Ministry of Jobs, Trade and Technology.
no,
Ministry of Health, Mental Health and Addictions.
no.
Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, we've already said yes to them. Ministry of Public Safety and Solicitor General.
No.
Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction.
Well, actually, Chris, would that safety one be something that we can address over the school on the highway there, the crosswalk and all that?
Perhaps I'd probably say that's better addressed through Ministry of Transportation.
Just so they have it there aware?
Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction.
No, I don't think so. What do you think, Audrey? Colleen?
Which minister is that? Sorry.
It doesn't, they don't give me the
No, the
ministry name.
ministry, the ministry. of-
Social Development and Poverty Reduction.
Are you going?
No.
I don't think I'm looking for you.
No,
Or
I
both anybody, we just
Oh.
words.
haven't looked into that.
That will come up in the next question. Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture.
Tourism, yeah, we could probably go talk to them.
Ministry of Transportation and Infrastructure.
Yes.
It's a lot of ministers too.
Provincial agencies, commissions, and corporations. Agricultural Land Commission, Auditor General for Local Government, BC Emergency Health Services,
Yeah.
BC Hydro,
No. They fixed our streets and, or our posts and.
BC Oil and Gas Commission,
No.
BC Transit, ICBC,
No.
RCMP.
Yes.
Have we heard anything more about transportation from Coos to Dawson?
Yes, yes, it was discussed with us in, so it's still in works,
In the plan?
that's what we're supposed to say.
Okay, so, who's all going to UBCM? I know I am.
And what's the date of it?
What's that?
10th to the 14th of September. Probably leaving on the 9th, coming back either late the 14th or the 15th.
I plan on attending.
I plan on attending.
Me too.
I wouldn't.
I will let you know first thing in the morning.
Okay.
10th to the 15th.
10th to the 14th. Departing probably on the 9th.
Yeah, 'cause I'm all that.
And I'll be taking my mate with me.
10th?
You'll be taking your what?
My mate with me. Same mate that I had to go to Halifax with.
Oh, okay.
Where is it this year?
Whistler.
Worcester.
Registration opens on July 3rd. So I will get the registration to you guys ASAP.
Okay. You're gonna make sure Sandy knows?
How about the
Yeah,
So
sorry.
the 10th to the what?
9th to
14th.
the 15th.
We can work flexible days too, it doesn't have to be that time of year, so it's. First time, so just wait for 2 or 3 days or whatever, they can go away from it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you know in the morning.
So all in favor that we see these ministers?
Was the Minister of Finance mentioned?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Okay, 8.2 recommendation.
Recommend the council receive the attached draft Coos Coopee Joint Use Library Agreement for discussion.
Can I get a seconder? I'll second. Any discussion? Laura?
The appointment of the second, where they want a village, what they call it.
Representative?
Yes, and I would like to suggest that our CAO be representative on that.
Where's the,
School, the.
I know, but I'm like where.
Oh,
that-
page 2.
It was,
Page 2, 2.31, C.
The oversight
so you don't
committee.
think it should be the person that sits on the board? That
Because
is
they-
better read to the things that are happening and the person that's actually at the meetings and knows what's going on shouldn't sit there?
Okay, there's a management committee that will have 2 representatives from the Coos Coopee Library and 2 representatives from the board of school district. And I thought that the representative or whatever could sit on that because the oversight committee is sort of impartial. That was my thinking of it. It's sort of the second step up if there's
So it's-
disagreement
but
or
this is just saying-
discussion.
It's just saying representative of the village.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say who.
Yes.
But we gotta appoint somebody.
No, are we doing that? I thought we're just going over this isn't in use yet, is it?
No, it's not even signed.
No, but we still need to know who's gonna be on it.
Don't we have to make sure that all of this is in order?
But that's what she's going through right now.
There's a lot of stuff in here that needs to be changed before we
Yes.
stop this.
That's why we're
doing that.
discussing.
Okay. Want to change the wording to scale?
Yes, possibly, but that's just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Councilor Smoot. I don't know if we need to change it there, but I'm happy to do that. You know, if that's what you guys want. That would be internal nomination, so.
Yeah, or have that in the minutes, it's an internal thing, leave it as is and just, yeah.
Okay. You have another question?
Yes. Could we request that the library give us a quarterly presentation by board this year? It does not affect the liaison role or time in between, it's just what's a quarterly come to council meeting. And I was thinking also the museum too, because we're giving them this money and we don't see them until the budget time the following year. And it'd be nice,
So what's wrong with the minutes and the info that you make from the minutes all the time?
I haven't seen them.
I have my
all the
minutes
time,
in
and
every,
we hand them all the time.
she has all my minutes.
We had in reports, so it's just, these are people that are volunteers. You get a volunteer company, you know, to come in and do a report. I just don't know, I think it's a waste of time. They're handing in minutes, we're handing in minutes.
I'd still like to talk to them, see what's going on, right? Still, if they have anything new, if they think that
But
everybody
it's
should
in
be
minutes.
brought up, not necessarily.
I think
Well, it's all
a
for
waste of time.
discussion.
Yeah.
And then I don't see anything in here for the yearly book purchases by the school. Like originally, they were supposed to buy books, and then they had no librarian.
The school district's supposed to pay.
Yes.
It's not in the
I
contract.
think that was discussed when we had that meeting with them at the school.
Yes, and he
They said
said,
they were going to do it.
yes, but it's not in there.
No, I know. Just saying.
So I'm just asking.
Something I said.
So, did we take those changes back to Mike? Chris, right?
Yeah, definitely worship, plus there was the one from my report there too, the council agrees with that as well. With that on, what was it here, page 1 to include the words that the village is the primary funding contributor to the Kuskookee Municipal Library, because it does make reference that we contributed dollars to build and stock the space, but I think it's worthwhile noting in the agreement that we're the annual operating funding contributor to the facility also. Just to have that on there.
And you had one more question.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Head librarian seems to be putting in a lot, she's gonna be putting in all the books away, so I'm kinda, you know, it's an awesome agreement, but it just seems like our librarian is doing all the work. So that school comes in with their librarian, they have a class, they take books out, and then here, Courtney, put them all away. And we're paying, our library board's paying our librarians. It just seems a little one-sided at the school district.
The school, they putting the books away. They're getting the children to do it.
Don't they have that girl still in the library?
Is that functional? Is
That's
that,
the schools, that's how they do it.
So what about the computer system or whatever? They had computer issues about checking the books. Did that never get straightened out?
School board hasn't done it.
You guys have any other questions?
Your worship, to our CEO, this has been a comment that you were putting in the beginning of this, whereas to do with village, it was in your CEO report.
Oh, it was in, yeah, it's in the report.
Was it in here?
It's on page 20, sort of my report there. I put in there, administration reviewed the document. I would only recommend a minor change to item C on page 1 to include the words "and the village is the primary funding contributor to the Kuskookee Municipal Library."
Well, that's in here?
No, it's not in the draft yet. That
That's
was
what I-
my
yeah. But it's
recommendation.
going to be-
I'd like it to be, yeah, if
Yeah,
you guys
so
are okay
that-
with that, I'll fire that back off to Mike too.
Tony, do you have any questions?
the recommended changes do have to come from you guys as council. so-
Yeah, agreeable to what you're asking for that, put that in there.
So the school board, or the library board is in the process right now of, they've been in talks with Mr. Reedman. There is some issues, there's some definite issues, and they are dealing with it. But right now, some of the issues that they have are the school kids are not paying for their OE books, and they're not returning books, or, the books are not returned, not the contract. So the school is not liable for any of the books that are not returned, and they don't have to pay for them. It's not in our contract.
So that needs to work.
School purchases new books, they did. They purchased $5,000 worth of books, but they have only been reported 1 week to get it in the catalog system, and it's not doable. So that is in a letter to the school. The library has been still checking what works for the school because their librarian, they've hooked up the system, but it doesn't work. So our librarian is taking all the books out and checking them out for the kids. But with the two systems, the kids can take 3 books from our public library, 3 books from the school, so they're over the amount of books that they can take. So, quite a few of them are not being returned. And if the book is damaged, it's not being paid for or repaired by the school to repair it, and it's cost a lot to repair them. So those books are actually getting repaired by the village of Bruce.
Concerns.
So that needs to be addressed.
So the library board is in the process of dealing with these concerns.
So we need to have that in the contract that they.
But we should have something about the repair, the money amount, the not getting them returned. And like you said, our librarian's time is not getting, and even though they have a librarian that they have, she doesn't have enough time to take the books in and out. And they are actually using children to put the books away, and it's a mess. So, and also, I noticed in your agreement, using the library and having a clean space after you're using it, and it's not getting done. So,
So that's the janitor's responsibility. is to-
no, the teacher's responsibility after the children leave. They need to make sure that the books are put away instead of just left on the floor and walk out.
Hmm.
So,
And all the paper.
Just a free-for-all for the school library.
it is pretty much, it's a little bit of a disaster. But I think we really need to address, or, in our agreement, and that's how we hit that, I think, is if we make sure that it's in here, that monetary, like they can buy the books, but if they're not returning the books, they've only put $5,000 in I don't know how many years. If they're not returning the books, and it's costing us labor, it's costing us time, it's costing us.
Yeah. Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. I guess at this point, considering Councilor Rhodes' concerns on behalf of the board, the council would need to come up with a way to make sure that all the concerns are coming to the table at once, because if the library board's doing a draft and they're requesting changes to the language, we're doing that separately simultaneously.
Well, has this been sent to our library board?
I don't know who Mike sent it to. He sent it to me.
From my understanding, they've never seen it. They've never seen this, and I think they should have a
Well, Mike
say
should
in
have
it.
said-
Before we did.
Well,
Yeah,
because
and
they're,
they've never, this is the first time I've seen it, and
Me too.
I phoned today and nobody's seen this.
They need to copies.
so can you send them a copy, Chris?
So maybe what we should do then is I can escalate council's recommended changes back to Mike by email. He can, or with a request that he include them here, then send that amended draft to the library board. They can do their changes, have the library board send it back to council for one final review, and then it's gone through the process and everybody's had a chance to have some input.
Because there's a lot of language in here that I think the library board would be very interested in.
Oh, yeah.
And there's stuff that they see that, like I've read this, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed, I feel, but they deal with it on a more daily basis than I do.
Barbara, you got an answer.
Sorry, I would like to suggest that our changes that we would like go to the library board first because they know better than even we do what is needed. So they should have the final look at it, and then before it gets signed, it gets brought back to council. But don't send it to Reed, but I say give it to the library board with our suggestions, and ours are just suggestions. It's up to the library board what they want.
Okay. Right, you didn't wait your turn. Okay, so
Are we making a motion?
we're making a motion to bring back the draft? Send it to the library board. Send it to the library
Second for
board.
library board
Review over there.
with a list of the changes council's requested here at this meeting for their input.
Who's making the motion?
I will.
I'll second.
And then now, once the library board's done those changes, your worship, is that to come back to us, or can it go directly to my agreement?
No, come back to us.
Comes back to us,
To
okay.
review. All in favor? Correspondence, does anybody see any correspondence? None? Resolutions? None? Bylaw? 11.1
Do we
recommendation.
have to accept your worship? Do we not have to make a motion to accept our correspondence?
Make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept the correspondence as presented.
Can I get a second here? All in favor?
Thank you.
Resolutions none, bylaws, 11.1 recommendation.
Recommend the council give final reading and adopt signed regulation bylaw number 1002, 2018.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Colleen?
Just wondering, the sign bylaw, because most of our village is on the highway,
Corridor.
and the highway is obviously giving, with the Legion, a lot of flack and a lot of issues on signs. And most of the people that, I know another company that wants to put a sign up on the highway, but they're not allowed. I just think this sign bylaw is really, it's part of it. Most of the signs want to go on the highway, and highways won't let us have.
So we still need bylaw, because if somebody who's here and puts up a sign, we still need it.
But is there anything that we can do to meet with the highways
We already
regarding
did,
signs?
and me and Chris had a meeting on Friday with him. He's already phoned for the Legion, and he's also phoned for the other department. And Chris, do you want to explain it?
Yeah, thank you, worship.
You had the conversation.
Yeah, so I spoke to Shane, last name, can't remember off the top of my head, but he's essentially the sign guy over at the ministry. And he says the ministry's recently adopted a new sign policy legislation, I guess it is, on the highway corridor. They're really cracking down on sign pollution, lighted signs, and distracted driving. And then now the new sign regulations too, are that 15 meters is the minimum distance from the highway corridor. There is an exception process for that, but it can take up to 3 months, and it's the group who has to apply directly to the ministry themselves. We did make note of that in the new bylaw, just because I didn't want to get into a position where, village administration was being asked to fill out this ministry paperwork and lobby for a sign that really wasn't our sign. It's some other group that wants to put it out there. Along with that, so they're really cracking down on lit signs. Shane basically said lit signs are a no right off the bat. Additionally, anything made out of steel has to have an engineered breakaway for traffic accidents now, so that if a small vehicle hits it, the sign falls before the smart car, kills the occupants, kind of thing. And yeah, their list of rules and regulations are growing and growing. One of the individuals that had talked to me there had, asked sort of the same question as Councillor Evans. Well, Chris, what can we do? Can we lobby? And my response was, it's the highway corridor. Yes, it's within Village of Pooskoopi boundaries, but it's completely outside of our jurisdiction. So, I told him over the phone, I said I get ready to sign a permit tomorrow under the new bylaw. The sign goes up. if you don't have the ministry's approval, they're fully within their rights to come in and tear it down whenever they feel like it. And I'm powerless to do anything about it. It's their highway corridor, not the village's. So that's the world we live in.
Cool. Can we, when we go to UBCM, can we actually talk to the Minister of Transportation? Because we are such a small community and we have 0 signs on our boulevard now. You know, and for a small community, we need the signs for people to know what's in our little community. So I think it's. Andre?
Your worship, yeah, so I'll mention that Dawson Creek also was looking at this thing, and now they've sent it back to their department. They didn't accept it, the council didn't accept what was presented by their, just so you're aware, that happened. The other thing is we've had one of our resident business, I believe owner, ask for a sign on its sign. So has he been notified that this is going to happen now?
That was actually the gentleman I
Oh,
was
was it?
referring to a moment ago. We had a lengthy conversation about half an hour long. I let him know that the new sign bylaw was coming down the pipeline, but because his location was a lot adjacent to the highway, I let him know what Shane had said. You know, the 15, it's 4.5 meters, it looks like the 15 feet, which is a wide stretch. So, Legion, for example, when they wanted to put theirs over in the same location, it basically puts it smack dab in the middle of the entrance for Cookie's parking lot. That's not what anybody wants to see, the landowner or us, nor does it really meet the Legion's requirements. I mean, they wanted something on the corner directing people to the Legion for various events. But, I can see why it fits with the ministry's rationale of sign pollution and distracted driving and stuff like that. But, definitely if you guys want to talk to the minister and UBCM and see if we can come up with some kind of workaround or special exception for use. We'll put together a presentation.
So do you want to take this then?
The sign bylaw, your worship? No, we're fully able to your point earlier, this bylaw regulates everything inside the village, not on the highway. And really on the highway corridor too. So the highway corridor signs require 2 steps of approval, ours and the ministry's, because that area falls under village jurisdiction. So it does cover it off.
All in favor? She's an eager beaver tonight. 11.2 recommendation.
Council give first reading to the animal control and license bylaw number 1005, 2018.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Discussions or?
I have a question for Les. How are we doing with cats, feral cats? Nothing. We don't deal with it in any way, shape, or form.
We haven't done anything yet nothing's been passed on the cats in there.
Pardon me?
We're still waiting for the bylaw to be passed on the cats.
Okay. So as our animal control officer, I've had somebody, I guess there's a feral cat up at Dokesville. There's a few probably around there.
Lots of them.
But we did this spade program where people are actually using that.
But these are feral cats. Who would trap them and take them to the SPCA? Like,
This is- The one we had put in was just for the homeowners, right, that could take their cats and get spayed and neutered. That we don't actually have a program set up yet to take the feral cats in. At least not that I'm aware of yet.
Well, just to clarify that a little bit, yeah, the program's for any cat, but it was driven by the residents. So the one we signed up to, the SPCA, didn't necessarily empower us to go out there and catch all these cats. It was intended for.
But if somebody caught the feral
Mr. and
cat.
Mrs. Jones, there's a feral cat in my yard, they were fully able to grab it, take it to the SPCA, have it bring it back, and essentially the village was covered because of that $5,000 grant. The new bylaw does create language now for licensing cats, various forms of licensing with different fees depending on the cat, if the cat is spayed or neutered, and then also empowers us to catch them and pick them up. So you may get easier counsel.
And we had to have some kind of connection with the SDC because we have no place to keep them.
Connor?
Thank you, Worship. So looking at penalties, part 5, number 19, and then go down to number 3. Is there a reason why it's $10,000? It says any person who violates any provision of this bylaw is either upon summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $10,000. I looked at all the fines, and there's no way. Is there a reason why it's up to that amount?
That,
5,000 would cover that.
needs,
It says
Yeah.
not exceeding,
up to
it's
not
not to
exceeding.
10,000.
No, I'm aware of that. You shouldn't say not exceeding 5,000. I mean, that's like,
we can choose any number we like in there, to be honest with you, Councilor White.
Yeah.
That sort of standard language that's in a lot of the bylaws, and it's intended for that purpose, to sort of scare anybody reading it a little bit and say, I better pay attention to this and play by the rules, because I can get hit with something all the way up to this massive number
yeah.
that we're likely never to impose, but this gives us the opportunity to do it.
This one
Yeah.
is
Yeah, and in some cases, you know, looking at bylaws like that, let's take an extreme case where we actually had an animal fighting ring, for example, in town that we discovered and decided to go after them under the bylaw. That would be an example of, you know, somebody or group of individuals who probably want to hit a $10,000 fine for doing something crazy. Without that number in there, then we're limited to the little $100 fines and stuff that are on there.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So everybody's in favor?
The last reference? And you're okay, like, is there, so everything that's in this bylaw, you think it's good, it's,
Is in that, the only discussion we had that we had to come to an agreement on, I think, was wording for chain law, right?
and that's in here now?
Chris?
Yeah. Thank you, Worship. So, Les was actually the architect of this project. He's actually been after us for a couple of months to get this done. So in the major changes, as I wanted in the reports there were, the big one was the language around the dog being on a leash full time. Our old language was super vague, where it said an animal had to be on a leash or under the owner's control. That was causing us a lot of problems with respect to catching people who had dogs. It was a hard thing for, the police, right? Because an owner would simply turn around and say, oh, the dog comes as soon as I call the dog, right? But besides to go and attack another dog, I just start clapping hands and tell it to come, no problem. Well, now under the new stuff, it's telling. And then the meeting that Les is, yeah.
You wanna read?
Yeah. So the meeting that Les was talking about, one of the other major things he wanted to see in this was animals being chained. So Les is aware of a couple of dogs in town that are on a chain 24/7, summer, winter, nonstop. So that was something we wanted to put a stop to. But in the meeting, we kind of went back and forth, and Sandy was in that too. These folks felt strongly about no chaining, no tethering. I kind of felt that in a community where we had shift workers and people on extended hours, that being able to keep a dog outside secure on a chain maybe made sense for somebody who was doing 14-hour shift. Yeah, but so the paragraph we landed on was page 74, and it says no person will keep any animal hitched, tied, or fastened to a fixed object where a choke collar or choke chain forms part of the securing apparatus, or where a rope or cord is tied directly around the animal's neck. And then number 6 is no person will keep any animal hitched, tied, or fastened to a fixed object as the primary means of confinement. So that was sort of the give and take.
So, sorry,
Yeah.
can I interrupt for a minute? So my father owns a beagle. A beagle, his nose, he folds his nose, he takes off. And he can't, he has it fenced, he has electric on the fence, so he can't get out, he's got a collar. So if he goes over the fence, he gets a shot, a dog collar, he can't keep him. And he tries, so he keeps him on a chain when he goes out. So so now if he's on a chain outside, does that mean that he's gonna have his dog taken away? Because he can't keep the dog in. He can't keep it in.
The dog
He's
lives
gone to work, it's outside, he's on a chain
Yeah.
in the evening.
And the qualifying criteria, that's exactly the kind of situation I wanted to address, because the original draft of this just said that no dog would be on a chain or attached at all. And we saw a lot of scenarios where that might not
Like he tries, but that dog is good. Like he's good.
So
Not
what
that
you're-
fast, but I know what he's around.
What you're saying, that your dad's got fencing, there's electric fencing, the primary means of confinement for the dog is actually the fence. He just puts it on a chain as an additional means of confinement when he's
And
away.
he gets out of that too.
Totally okay. Yeah.
We just
Yeah.
don't want them
No,
24/7, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the absence,
you know,
the
but
absence.
but how does Les know this?
The problem is that's a specific thing that, you can't cover every specific thing, but the people that chain their dogs up and go to work when there's no fence, nothing around, we've had dogs attacked while they're on their chain by other dogs in Pooskoopi and stuff. And over where your dad lives, like if he had no fence, there's coyotes and stuff, like you get that. So we had them 2 pit bulls that I chased around for the first first year and a half I was doing this. But we had them, just before I got this, that's part of the reason I think they contacted me, is them 2 pit bulls went and tore some lady's shoes at work and had her dog out on a chain. They ripped it up.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that's why, and the primary source of, that beagle goes in the house with your dad when,
Yeah.
when he's home, right? It's not on the chain while he's home and stuff. So I wouldn't call that myself, I wouldn't call that your primary source of confinement then, because he's there and he does have the fence and stuff, right?
Do you remember when that pit bull was tied up at that house by the school? And it was tied up 24/7, 7 days a week? That's what he's talking about. They never took the dog for a walk. Okay.
Yeah, so
I
somebody-
just want to make sure, like, I know that you are good because you know everybody's animals and stuff, but, if you don't have this job forever,
Yeah.
and people perceive things differently,
Yeah.
right? And so this language is quite, it's how you perceive it.
Yeah. But I felt that was the best way for me, because if you say you can't chain it for more than 12 hours, say an example, then in order for me to do anything, I'd have to sit there and watch that dog for 12 hours. Because I could come back and you could say, I took him in for 10 minutes, half an hour ago, and we're lost, right? But
Okay. Okay, no more questions? All in favor? Okay. So, that was the first one? Yeah. Okay, we need the second one right now.
The council gives second reading to the animal control and license bylaw number 1005, 2018.
Can I get a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Favor?
The council gives third reading to the animal control and license bylaw number 1005, 2018.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Administration reports, CAO,
Thank you, your worship. Number one is.
not wordy, Christopher.
I see a recurring theme. Special meeting, folks. The Sophie and the annual report are due June 30th. With all the stuff that's bubbled up the last couple of weeks there, I wasn't able to put them together in time for this meeting, so I'd like to book a special meeting on Monday at noon to approve the annual report with Sophie. And then I'd also like to schedule a closed meeting to discuss the land purchase budget amount that's in the capital project this year. I've gone back and forth with the landowner. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it for the amount in the budget, so I just want to discuss with council if you guys are able to.
That's also Monday?
That,
Yeah.
please. Yeah, so that'd be back to back. Sophie, in the annual report will be super quick. It's just a single motion to approve those documents and then maybe 10 to 15 minutes on the closed land purchase, so,
25th at noon.
yeah, if that works. Okay. Saw a Facebook post there last week about a Dawson Creek resident selling a bunch of really nice looking big picnic tables for a good price, so bought those for the village. Those will make their way down to Poos Park after Canada Day. Worked with Sandy on all of the various school overcrowding letters, so just to confirm again one more time, all of those letters went out to 20 plus ministries, if I'm not mistaken. And it was, what we did was just do a single letter and sort of CC'd it to everybody, and the letter was addressed to sort of Parliament. So we did also request a meeting with the Minister of Education prior to UBCM. We got an email back that said, due to time constraints, the minister can't meet with us, period. Not can't meet with us in the next 2 weeks, can't meet with us this month. We'd be happy to schedule something in August, just cannot meet with us, no time.
Nice.
So that one's, and that's literally all we got. So it's in, yeah, it's in council's court as to where you guys would like to take that, but that was a pretty closed door response.
Can we not wait and see for the invitations for UBCM? Or forward that stuff to Mike?
Yeah, Sandy's forwarded it to Mike, I burned in there today, so.
We might have to bring Blair in on this.
Perhaps, yeah. I was actually surprised to see that. I mean, I can understand time constraints personally, if it's, you know, okay, sorry, next month's pretty busy, can we look at August or something, but this was just closed door, no, can't fit you in before UBCM. It's 2.5 months away.
So maybe we should bring Blair in.
It's up to you guys.
Because how much did we pay them last time?
For
Blair.
the Dawson Creek item that he worked on was about 5,000 amongst all the municipalities. Our contribution there was $500.
Yeah, so for $500 and he can get us
That's
our $1,000? For $1,000 and he can get us a meeting with Fleming.
In regards to the school.
Yeah, to regards to school. Right?
I can make some calls and see where it goes.
Oh, does everybody agree though? Like,
You want to make, and this is regards to what, that there's
School
too,
District 59.
yeah, that there's too many kids in Bruce
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
The way, because he even said that in the paper, didn't
But
he?
if Blair can get us a meeting with Fleming like he did with the other ministers, right?
Yeah, so what we tried to do was line up a dedicated meeting with the Minister of Education prior to UBCM to send a delegation from Poos down to talk to the minister. Outside of the 10-15 minute spiels we get at UBCM, this could have been half an hour, like an actual conversation one-on-one with the minister about this, and they said no.
Bart?
I'd like to make a motion that we pursue it and have you come back with what?
See if Blair can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All in favor?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Been working on a bunch of election stuff. One of the things we're putting together, actually not putting together, rewording, I guess is the right way to put it, is a role for mayor and council. This is going to go out to everybody who's picking up an election package. So kind of an information piece. It's 7 or 8 pages long, and it goes through, you know, how things work and who does what. So that is looking pretty good. Held a conference call with Katrin from Urban Systems on West Poos. So council's direction to do a 2-month consultation period well underway. It's going to kick off on January 1st. She's going to have a booth at Canada Day with the preliminary West Poos stuff and kicking it off there. And then
Right, I thought it was January.
to January?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a long 2-month period. Sorry, July 1st. Yeah, so she's graciously volunteered to give up her candidate to come kick that off, so a big thanks to her. And then in the course of that conversation, now that we're in the final stages of the West Bruce approval, I did give her the green light to go ahead and shift gears on the boundary extension project, so we can get working on that one. Went to Poos Park again a couple of times over the last few weeks. It's looking really good. Ground cover is looking nice. We've knocked down all the trees. We made some orders today for garbage bins and that kind of stuff to get that going. Doggy bag station and so on.
The picnic tables are going to be cemented.
The picnic tables for right now, we're just going to put the wood ones down there for this year until we get out a map, and then I'd like to go over locations and stuff with you guys. What I'm afraid of with the picnic tables at Poos Park is until we know where we want, what we want to put down there, we put some big, heavy duty, expensive picnic tables and then realize that we want a volleyball net or something like that. So before we invest the big money into that kind of stuff, I'd like to just have a solid plan as to what's going to be in that area. Newsletter, Alistair's doing an awesome job on the new newsletters. This month is 16 pages long. Sandy's putting some great stuff as far as the election in there, so that's looking really, really good. Emailed the final skate park concept plan to Aaron and then Josh, and so they're supposed to be getting a poster to go up at Canada Day for that. Lots of Canada Day meetings have been happening. We're 99.9% ready for Canada Day. Met with CRS. Yesterday, they're gonna be doing traffic control for us over at the crosswalks. So literally, they got 2 flag people gonna be there in full safety vests with the signs directing traffic, and they're gonna be doing that for about an hour and a half, so we're doing on something for the CRS after that's all done. So that, helicopters, Rangers are coming too, yeah, that's all good. Only thing that we don't have, so things that we don't have this year as compared to last year, no more flights. So that's, we just, quite frankly, couldn't find anybody. I know Sandy has a list of about 10 equestrian-oriented folks that we contacted. Nobody's interested in doing it anymore. I shouldn't say nobody, we had one company from Grand Prairie who wanted Fort St.
Oh,
John.
Grand Prairie, yes, the expensive one.
$2,500 for horse rides. We said,
Is he gonna do it from 6 in the morning to 12 at night?
So, yeah, so that's different. That's really about it, actually. So, I had a conference call with Ron Coops from Matrix Water Solutions to start on the second groundwater study work. I originally sent that to Urban Systems, and I told you guys that too. Ron rejected the first program that Eric and I had talked about with Urban Systems. So he's putting together another plan. He's a water specialist, so he's putting together a proposal that'll get that done. I haven't received that yet, but it's in there. Had a long chat with Papa Don about the barricades Thursday last week. Don had come in with a petition after the last meeting there. Unfortunately, what he did was he just got all of his employees to sign the petition, and we kind of rejected it from counter and said, well, no, Don, that wasn't what council wanted. We wanted the residents on the street. Of course, your employees are going to sign the petition for this. So, I did have a chat with him, and we agreed to, to fast track some signage if he wanted, for directional and parking stuff. So we're likely going to do some parking along 50th Street there, parallel to the street, and then he's putting up a temporary directional sign on the fence directing people around the other way. I drove that route myself, and it's 49 seconds. So if you turn off the highway and go up around and come back down to the parking lot, so that's the extent of the beach. So,
People not parking in front of their buildings?
but just inside.
No, but I mean,
They're
on the
lying.
highway side.
I guess they gotta back out into the
Yeah,
traffic to,
Yeah, we've been notified that that's been happening too, and I'm not sure how to address that yet. Because that's exactly what's happening. People are pulling off the highway in front of the barricades and then pulling out back into traffic to get back onto the highway.
I actually watched
Who's the guy?
a 4x4 drive over the cement thing.
Yeah, I've come
Going business down that road. Right over that.
I've come into town on a couple of occasions and seen big pickups just literally wheels up onto the sidewalk. If you look closely where the sidewalk is in front of that building, the ministry has lines there sort of indicating no parking, but they're pretty faded and stuff. So I think what I might have to do, maybe on Friday when we meet with the Ministry of Transportation, we'll ask them to sharpen their pencil on the no parking situation in front of there.
Sure. Be nice if that painting could be done for July 1st. So that it's visible.
Yeah, so people are
So
parking.
that'll be okay. And then MOT department in front of But other than that, he seemed happy that we were willing to work with him as much as possible. I think it was as good as it could be. And then last but not least, all the flooring for the old library building has finally been ordered. It turned out the samples did a big road trip across BC inadvertently, so I went and got those last week, picked some stuff, and that should be filled down in the next couple of weeks. That's it.
That's it. So the action items. You guys did an awesome job. So the only one is the boundary extension?
This is another phase.
Sorry.
Is that-
There's 2 pages.
Yeah, that is the second
Yeah.
page.
You double-sided, isn't it?
Pardon?
So you double-sided So the letter to the summer student program, Chris, go ahead.
Thank you, Worship. It's good. Yeah, I CC'd me on all those, I was just gonna comment on that, and all of that stuff happened after the agenda. So,
Yeah, but I think we should actually write a letter to the parents on that, because he's the one that made the motion to do the grants. We talked to Bob Zimmer about that. And Bob said that the PM had to rescind it to be able to give us our grant money back. So if we can write a letter to him. Wonder?
Your Worship, I just want to ask, where's the St. County Community Information Session? What's happening?
That's the Legion.
Where?
The Legion?
What is it? Thank you. I want to stop there.
You didn't get your,
This from here that I have information.
I have one in my office.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. I'll look
what
again.
is that?
Tuesday, 4 to 8 of the week.
Yeah. Did anybody else get
Or
it?
is the tour?
It was at the last
Everybody was
council
invited
meeting.
at the last council meeting. Do we have cards? No, it was in the agenda. Just was in the agenda.
Go on. Go on.
Yeah, you can go to one.
Oh.
You just let them know because they're cooking. Okay, and have we seen anything else there? This invitation to the Peace Energy, what are we doing with that?
Yeah, two actions, the two items there on action are the invitation to the Canada and the Peace Energy one, we just started up.
And capital, special projects. So when do you think that the sidewalks will be starting? After July 1st?
The sidewalk is, it's a study. Yeah, that's something that we could work at over the late fall and the winter too.
Why do we have to have a study?
Just to check out the corridor, and then if we go back to the budget meetings, we were kind of up in the air about what type of sidewalk to put there, so, we need somebody to look at, whether or not our right of way there is sufficient. What do we do with the ditch if we put in a sidewalk, does that change?
So what side are we putting it on?
It would,
Just keep following the one by Cookies?
my thoughts would be Cookie side, yeah. There is a little piece of a sidewalk already there in front of Cookies, and kind of ends right at that yard, so the obvious thing from a logistics standpoint would be to continue that, but if I remember it correctly, the sidewalk actually awkwardly butts into a ditch, so
There's a ditch there.
and the ditch along that side of the road too. And that was, remember we talked about the whole grade idea of a graded sidewalk over the ditch, and the ditch still stayed there, but when I'd done some sort of Google research on that graded sidewalk, everybody was like, don't touch it with a 10-foot pole, it's a hazard, kids fall in there, break their fingers, and high heels get stuck in there, and all kinds of, it was a great concept, but not so good in practice.
Well, it could be for, good for some, like,
Yeah.
like that.
But I mean, a project of that magnitude to go ahead and do that, we definitely want a resident consultation piece, because at the end of the day, similar to some of the tree work we did a couple of weeks ago, the residents on that street are likely, a lot of them gonna feel that that's their property, right? So if we, use it for our purposes, build sidewalk, and then that's not good to do that. So we want to do a little bit of a community consultation piece. So there's some background work that's there before we go.
I think they'd be happy to have a sidewalk, that's for us.
Perhaps to, although then they have to plow it.
Okay.
So yeah, that one I'll move up the priority list here once a couple of the other things get back up in the next few weeks.
Okay, does anybody see anything here? Okay. So, Counselor Everett. Oh no, we need the counselor calendar. Okay, this is June. Chris, where's that MOT meeting at? Here?
I don't remember off the top of my head, Your Worship. I'll have to check the, can you check on my phone?
I thought you said it was here.
I think it was here too.
Well, there was last year, so I was just wondering if it was.
No, I'll have to double check on my, my laptop. Oh, my phone's powered down. No, I'll let you know before Friday.
Okay. So July 2nd, I will be gone till the 14th. July 2nd. Okay. Coming home for every council meeting. And then leaving again on the 22nd.
Till?
Till probably after the long weekend, probably the 5th, or whatever it is, of August, the long weekend.
Okay.
And then home for a bit and then back down.
Your Worship, since we're on the calendar, can we ask about the parade? What's happening with float? Do you need some help? Is this looked after? I volunteered last year. Do I?
Yes, we need you to.
I was with you.
Yeah,
I was
right.
with you.
Right, help me.
We still need people on it, for sure. We sent out the letters at your guys' request there to seniors and
Tremblay House.
Tremblay House. Nothing back yet that I know of about that, whether or not they were willing to do it. So Bud's actually volunteered his trailer. It's gonna be dropped off early next week. And then we're just gonna go in and test fit the stuff from last year. We took all
Is it the
this,
same size trailer?
it's the same size trailer, and that's what we were
Well, it
struggling.
should fit.
Yeah, it should, but we just gotta make sure that the post holes are all in the same spot.
Right.
And
But
so,
aren't we doing it as an old style, July 1st? Did not we not agree on
no,
that?
the theme this year was Celebrate Canada.
Okay.
Pretty open.
We're doing the same thing? We're gonna try to put the same thing as
Yeah,
last year?
because those sides we built, there was a lot of, well, you were there for sure, Audrey,
Yeah.
so they're still in great shape. We essentially took them off, put them to the side nicely with the hopes of reusing them there.
Can you let me know when they're doing that and I can come and
Yeah,
help?
sure,
Okay.
sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Everybody agree? Okay. And nobody has anything for their comments? It's summer.
I think I have a Northern Trust conference call. I just can't remember what day. I think it's Tuesday or Friday. 26th. Tuesday.
Okay.
Are we doing July calendar?
Yeah.
So July 19th, I mean, 11.
Yeah, nothing.
No music.
August 31st.
Is it New Zealand?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you can't go away for long.
Oh, I'll be gone then. I won't be here then. Well, I guess on my time.
Oh. Councillor Evans.
So I was approached by a group of residents from the village of Coos that have concern about the traffic and noise pollution coming from the highway. The Jake breaks to be, for example. Nobody is monitoring that, nobody is finding that. We have a sign saying no Jake breaks, but Ministry of Transportation, the DOTs, the RCMP, nobody actually enforces it. And it actually is getting to be very, very bad that you can hear Jake break all the way through the community. So they're actually going and doing a petition throughout the village, and they are going to go to a minister or the powers that be. But I think the village of Coos needs to be behind our residents, and especially on something like this. So if you do have a meeting with the Minister of Transportation, we need to bring it to their attention, because nobody is monitoring it, nobody is And it's just, it's
Road
getting out of
traffic
hand.
is ridiculous.
It's getting out of hand, how
So
much.
two sides, one at each end?
One in each
Yeah.
end, there's one right
Signs do
around the
nothing.
corner. Signs become complacent, right?
You know what I mean? But it is severely loud, like you can, like, the one person I was speaking with, like, he's a block and a half away off the highway. And he says that it's loud. So, you know, and he's a block and a half, so the people that are closer that are on the highway.
Like, I have a patio door open and I don't hear anything. But that's, I mean, I'm so used to the noises here, living here for 30 years.
Why should we have to?
Exactly.
So I think it's a valid concern, and I think that we need to actually, you know, see, since we are having the UBCM and talking to the ministers, that we need to bring this to their attention.
Bert?
I just have a quick question. Are they allowed to park big trucks on not elevator road, water tower? Geez.
No.
I guess there's a big truck there and he starts up, and when you say noise and whatever.
So can we have Blair have a little talk with that person?
We'll have to look and see what's actually in writing about that, your worship.
Well, we're not supposed to have any heavy truck traffic on our street.
Yeah.
I think it's per tonnage.
But that truck is a big truck.
I know there's a lot of signage up in Millsville about that. Only because I saw it with this excavator issue last week, but yeah, we'll take a look at it.
Okay, sorry, someone came to me.
And then the library, I've already spoke to you guys, and I actually forgot the paper copy, so I've emailed it to Chris, and he can, it's in your email box.
It's Wednesday. Okay, Mr. Johnston.
Actually, I have nothing to report.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Went for Books, is set October 13th. Sorry. And, yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I have nothing to report. All I got is
Okay.
is at school
We're
board
at the school board meeting.
meeting today.
We got lip service.
Yeah.
Counselor Smith.
I went to the school board today and NDIT conference call coming up. That's about it. Chris?
Thank you. Just for Councilor Johnson, did you hear something on the radio that the museum is doing something this weekend?
Saint John Baptist.
Yeah, St. John Baptist and
Every year.
Celebrate Aboriginal Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happening this weekend.
Good cake and pie and coffee and shaver coffee.
Okay, no,
They have really good cake and pie and coffee.
Okay.
Just a, you know, off time
I
away.
had to keep all that sound for the buggies were
They're good snacks. Right, go for the snacks. Just go for the snacks, no, but if it's Aboriginal Day, then I think that.
Yeah.
he was back to the black numbers, yes.
Councilor Wall.
Yes, Your Worship. So, a few things here. June 12th, and with the mayor and with the CEO, we attended the Norton Health Hospital Board meeting, and I discussed the situation at our hospital, and I just want to pass it on to our council. At the time, there was 21 geriatrics, this is June 12th, there was 21 geriatrics on our second floor. 15 on the east wing, 5 on the west wing, and 1 in maternity. I brought that to their attention. If anything happened was the day before, 2 joint surgeries were canceled because of no beds. And also on the same day, on the 22nd, on the 12th, sorry, June 12th, there was 8 people in the ER waiting to go up to the second floor to be admitted to. And they weren't going to be admitted because there's no room. So what I suggested to the board, the North Health Board, as a carrier, I kind of know this stuff, I suggested they reopen the third floor. They make a geriatric ward up there by just bringing in some carriers and 1 LPN, and they could have 12, 15 residents up there and they free up the second floor. So, just so you're aware.
There's 2 board rooms up there.
Yeah. 2 board rooms and this administration, basically. My understanding is, and Barb probably confirmed that, Councilor Smith, many years ago, third floor was open to residents, to patients. So, I don't see, and now, the other thing that I was told is, we're looking at 4 to 5 years before our hospitals could get updated. with the proper rooms and everything. And that's right from Mayor Munstead told me that. We can't do this for 4 or 5 years. This is ridiculous.
I'm sorry, have you ever been in the hospital at night? In the evening, the lights are all shut off, the doors are all closed. It's terrible.
It is crazy, yeah. And then I don't think-
My daughter had a baby on the 12th. She went in at 11:30 at night, had it 10 after 12. She was home at 5:30. It was full there. She went home at 5:30.
Was that in bed?
There was 4 in there.
There's one geriatric sitting in the gym.
So what I'm saying is, yeah, everything is fine, but still, you know what I mean? Are they pushing people out before they're ready because they do that to the seniors? And did you check in to see the geriatrics, if they're sending them home because there's no beds? Are they getting that 12-hour person that goes home with them? Like they told us at that meeting?
They don't have a manpower.
What?
They don't have a manpower.
Then why tell us this?
Can I continue?
Yes, so,
Yeah, no, that's fine. So then what I did on the 14th, I attended the Peace River Regional District meeting, and I reported this to them. And they asked me to put a letter together and send it to our acting CEO, and the letter is going to Mr. Gibbs, Mr. Clark. With that information, and
You've already,
also,
you've already submitted it?
it's all submitted to you. I can send you a copy if you want.
No, I just want to make sure it's not possible.
Well, I mentioned exactly what I just told you guys, suggesting a third floor be reopened, because we just need our beds. This is not acceptable. December 20th, attended the Community Future Festival, Community Futures Tech 101 building and supporting the Northeast Innovation Ecosystem. That was from 9 to 3. I stepped away and I did attend the delegation for Village of Bruce Scoopy for the school district 59 today. See what happens with that. We'll be attending Canada July 26th at the region, Peace River Regional District on the 28th, and of course July 1st. That's my report. Thank you.
I'd like a letter written to Dawson Creek over the bulk water sales, because I've been in talks with Leonard from Regional District. We want to put a water station down here in Chico's pasture. Well, that's what it used to be called, Chico's pasture. But that is MOT's property, so we have to get permission from MOT. So we also need a letter to Dawson Council to see if it's okay for them to sell the water. And then, what was this one? Chris PRB oil and gas question for Andre to take. Not a lot of notes. What was that?
That was one that I had jotted down on posted from the worship. Just to remind me about the oil and gas commission. I didn't have it.
Oh, did you go to that oil and gas question?
I think I did. Oh, no, I didn't. No, not that. No, I think I had something else going on.
And then the MRI clinic, I just had discussions with Wayne Curry about the MRI clinic. They're only allowed to have by September. WCP, ICBC claims, and third party, which would be a benefit package. Me and you just walking through the door will get turned away in September. We have to have some kind of third party there. So this letter is, Chris can photocopy it and you guys can read it, or I can email it to you guys. But it's very important. And so, yeah. And then, I don't know, Colleen, you missed our little adventure at the School District 59. Here's the speech if you would like to read it. That's what we read to them. And all we did was get lip service.
So, I'm sorry, what does that mean?
That, lip service. We'll write you a letter.
thank you. There was no interaction. We said that, and they just said, thank you.
And we'll write you a letter. There was no talks on our questions, nothing. So I attended Northern Health meeting with Andre, and Andre did an awesome job of doing that recording. And what else did I do today? I did School 59. And that's it, that's all I have. Chris?
Thank you, Worship. If you're done, just before we go to a motion to adjourn, can we actually bring back this Dawson Creek triathlon thing? I was rereading the letter from Jamie. The triathlon's the 15th, and even though he wasn't able to make it here, this is the last opportunity for council to approve.
I'm in favor.
I'm in favor. I'm in favor.
I'll make a motion.
He's done it
Every year.
Every year.
Yeah, okay. I'll second. Andre's motion.
All in favor. All in favor.
Okay.
Okay, what do you do? What do you do?
Oh, I can make a motion to adjourn.